No way. You're giving up the knight. Oh my, Stockfish. That's brilliant. Stockfish 15 is the best chess engine in the world. Not only will it destroy any human that tries to play against it, it also beats other chess engines, and there are a lot of other chess engines out there. How exactly is Stockfish so good? That's what I'm attempting to find out in this video. And I'm actually going to take it one step further and see if there's anything that I can find out about Stockfish that will help me play better chess. If you didn't know this, Stockfish is an open source program. What that means is the code that makes up Stockfish is free and available to anyone on the internet. It's primarily written in the programming language C++. For those of you who don't know, I went to college for a software engineering degree, and so I do have some experience with programming languages and C++. Now, it's been quite a while. I don't know how much I remember, but I'm hoping it's enough that I'll be able to dig into Stockfish's code and see if I can learn a thing or two. So having said that, let's go see what Stockfish 15 is all about. All right, let's get started. Stockfish 15, let's go source code. That should probably do it. Official Stockfish UCI chess engine, GitHub. This should be it. Here we go. All right, so first thing I want to show you guys is right over here. See where it says languages? C++, 92.7%. So the vast majority of the code is written in C++. I do have some experience with C++, so hopefully that's going to be enough that I can figure out what's going on. Let's go through the README file here a little bit. So what is UCI? UCI protocol and available options. Universal Chess Interface. Standard protocol used to communicate with a chess engine and is the recommended way to do so for typical graphical user interfaces. Okay, so if you, for example, if we pull up just this chessboard here on Lichess, when I'm making these moves, notice how Stockfish is running over here in the corner. How is that happening? Well, I guess it's the UCI protocol that's communicating between this graphical user interface where I'm dragging these pieces and Stockfish running behind the scenes. Okay, cool. So that's UCI. And we have all of these different terms, which I don't know how useful this is going to be right now. So I'll probably just kind of skim through this. SYZYGY table bases. So this is like towards the end of the game. If, here you go, a position with 8 pieces or less, the engine is going to be able to immediately spit out it's a win, it's a draw, it's a loss, and show you the exact line, which is pretty cool. Okay. Yada, 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 yada. Let's jump into the code. So we're going to go back up to the top here, and you can see there's all these different files. We just went through the README, and probably most of the important stuff is going to be under this SRC folder right here. So let's click on that. Okay, what do we have? INC bin. I don't know what that is. Embed net default simplify using non-default nets. NNUE. So if we want to look into the NNUE stuff, the code is in here. And the .cpp files are going to probably be, yeah, this one is probably the main one. Let's go ahead. Why not? We'll open it up and see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, this file is a bit over my head. I don't think there's much that I'm gonna be able to take away from the NNUE. So let's go ahead and go back to the source. That's the table base. I'm gonna leave that for now, and I wanna just jump down here and see what we have. So I think, let's see, benchmark CPP, bitbase, CPP, bitboard. Yeah, a lot of this stuff, I don't know what it is. We got pawns in here. Position, search, PSQT, don't know what that means. Move pick, it's probably an interesting one. Move gen, material. So there's a lot of evaluate, endgame, a lot of ones that look very interesting here. So let's actually start with this benchmark one and see what we can find in here. Benchmark. Okay, guys, I just found something really interesting. So I'm in the benchmark file, and do you notice this right here? What does that look like to you guys? Or this right here? or this right here. These are Fen codes. So these are how, like if we were sharing a position to someone, you could paste the Fen code into like Lichess or chess.com and it just pulls up the position. That's what this is. So Stockfish is storing all of these positions. So I'm actually curious to see what are these positions going to be. So let's copy this. Let's jump over here and I'm going to paste this in and oh, that's the starting position. That is interesting. Why is it storing the starting position? Okay, let's see what the next one is. Okay. This random position, which is good for black, although it's white to play. There's bishop takes a6 as a move, d takes e6 as a move. Everything's bad for white, though. Why does Stockfish care so much about this position? Let's see another one. What is this one going to be? Interesting. A random, like, endgame that's equal? It's totally equal after rook takes f4 check. Okay. What else is in here? What is this one? This one is also, looks like it's pretty equal. Bishop d3. What a, like, what is, how does Stockfish use this? That's what I want to know. Oh, here you go. Okay, moves d4, e6. This one is actually, it's telling you what the move is going to be. Let's see this one. Moves d4 to e6. So if we put this in here, d4 to e6. So it wants to capture this. Interesting because that's not even the best move. Best move is knight takes c6 or knight f6 check. This is a bad move. It's just a bad move. So why is it storing this position along with a random bad move? That's fascinating. All right, guys, I actually just found this super interesting article on chess.com. I will link this below for you guys, but it's chess terms and it's talking about what is Fen. And so it explains how they came up with this and what everything means. So like, for example, how does Fen work? It's a sequence of these ASCII characters. Lowercase letters represent black's pieces. Uppercase, where does it say that at? Somewhere else in here. Uppercase is for white. I know I read that somewhere. And so you can see like right here in the starting position, rook, knight, bishop, queen, king, bishop, knight, rook, right? That's just the top row. And that kind of gives you another example here. R1, so the 1 is the empty space, and then you have the bishop and the king, and 3, there's 3 empty spaces, and you have the rook, right? And so you can go down and you can see this example. Really nice article. Active color, that's the second field. Whose turn is it? The third one was castling rights. The fourth one is if there are en passant targets. So like in this example, here's a possible target. So you can see down here. Oh, you can't see that. Let me show you. You see right here, E3, possible en passant target. And if they put dashes, by the way, it just means there is nothing. Half move clock. So this is good for the 50 move rule counter. And what's the last one? Full move number. Oh, okay, the full move. All right, gotcha. So, all right, so going back to our example here, it's white's turn. There's no castling information. There's no en passant. Half move, full move, I guess. I would have thought it would have been the other way around. 14-7, not 7-14. I guess I don't understand exactly how that works. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's see. Oh, I can't take that. I have to take just this part. Let's actually paste this. See what this position is. Okay. And what was the move? It said G4, right? Yeah, G2 to G4. See, what I don't understand is, like, what does this even have to do with anything? Look at it. It's a bad move. Why does Stockfish have all these random positions with bad moves? That's what I don't get. I mean, look at it. There's a ton of them here. Oh, here we go. This is interesting. There's 1, 2, 3. There's like 4 moves listed. What's this position going to be? G5, G6, F3, E3, G6, G5, E3, F3. What in the world? Okay, let's see what the position is first. Wow. So it's white to play. It's winning for white. You take here. The king moves. Then you go rook h5. This is a fascinating position. Look at this, guys. Look at the move. Look at that. I guess you're blocking the rook. So if black takes you, you're going to get a queen. That's incredible. And g5 to g6. It's not even listing that move. It's listing this. It's listing g5 to g6. f3 to e3. g6 to g5. And then the king goes back. What in the world, Stockfish? What is going on? This is so weird. It's really interesting, though, but also really weird. Let's look at this one with some really high move counters here. What's going on with this? This game's like about to be a draw, I'm going to guess. Oh, no. Okay. Just a random position that's totally equal. Opposite colored bishops, so I get it why it's equal, but black's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 6. Yeah, black's down a pawn, but everything's kind of blocked up, and you can't really get through if you're white. Interesting. Okay, so what have we learned? Well, oh, wait a minute. There's more. 5-man positions. There's some comments here. King c2 mate. What is this all about? Let's check this one. King c2 mate. Well, yeah, I mean, it does look like king c2 is the best move. Okay, so they commented the best move here, which is interesting. How do you actually stop this pawn? g3, king d3, g2. Oh, look at that. Knight to c3, going for the fork. And even if black comes up here, you've got it covered. And so it's saying that black would get a knight. But now you can play... Oh, this is actually not that easy because you still have to get a queen. And you can't let the knight stop you. So knight f3 check, king to d5. Knight to d2. a4, knight to b3. King to c4. This is like... This is fascinating, guys. Knight to b7, knight to b1. I would play king b6. Yeah, that's a more human move. Knight to d6, king to c6. You have to do this dance. King to b5. Are you even making progress? King to c5, knight to b7 check, king to b6. Wait a minute. How are you winning? How are you winning? This is going to be a draw. I'm confused. Knight to b1. Now the king gets closer. Oh, knight to d2 check forces... Oh, wow. The king can't go there. What if you go here instead? You still play knight to d2? I just stumbled upon this amazing puzzle, and it was hidden within Stockfish's code. a5. The pawn is gone. The knight can't catch it now. You're too late if you go here. And if you try to loop around, you're also too late. There's no catching it. Wow. Wow. Okay, Stockfish. No wonder you're so smart. Let's check another one here. What else does Stockfish have hidden in its code here? 5-man position, by the way, must mean 5 pieces because there's 5. Ooh. Oh, you know what this is? This is the 2-knight checkmate with a pawn. Oh, yes. So normally 2 knights can't win against the king, but when they have an extra pawn, you can use that pawn against them and you can actually win. And so that's what Stockfish is showing. Did it say knight to a2? Yes, it did. Knight to a2. You blockade that because you need that pawn for later. The question is, how do you force the king into the corner with just the king and the knight? Is that possible? So king g2, king e2. It looks like it's going to escape, but no, it's not because king f3. Oh, look at that. And how do you make progress here? Knight, let's see. It's either knight to d4 or knight to e3. Let me turn on the table base, actually. That would be the smart thing to do. Okay, it's knight to e3. So knight to e3, and if the king tries to run, you go knight to g2. So you actually can force it. But now what do you do? King to f2. If it tries to escape, you don't make progress there. Oh, I need to just look at the table base. Let me actually just stop looking at this. Okay. You play knight to f4, king to g1, king to e2, king to h2 is what I want to see, king to f2. Oh, that's how you do it. King goes in the corner, king to g3, king to g1, knight check, king to f1. Wait, what? You let it go over this way? This is how you win? Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Do you actually want it in this corner? Knight f1. I'm like super confused. How is this? No way. You're giving up the knight. Oh my, Stockfish. That's brilliant. If they push it, you checkmate them. If they go here, you're going to make them push it at some point. How do you do that? Knight f3. Knight d4. What is it? Knight e2. Knight c1. Yes. What did we just witness? Stockfish has these epic checkmate endgame puzzle things hidden inside its code. That's incredible. That's incredible. We've only started looking at the first file. There's like a whole slew of files to go through. This is fascinating. All right, what else you got, Stockfish? What else do you have for us today? It's got 3 bishops, and it says it's a draw. I'm sorry. I guess when you're a computer, you gotta have these things stored somewhere. That's hilarious. That is so funny. What else you got, Stockfish? 6-man positions. Let's go. Let's go. I am very excited now that I realized what's going on. Okay. Winning move for white. Rook to e... I should just use these as puzzles. I should stop giving away all the answers. Maybe I'll do that. Rook to e5. Rook to e5 is the only winning move. And why is that? What's the idea if black goes for your pawn? You swing over behind it. And if the rook tries to go back, you take the pawn and you go into this winning endgame, of course. So essentially, by going here, you're tying down the rook to defend this. If the king tries to come back, now you push, and eventually the rook has to leave. In which case you take this, and it's a winning. All right. Yeah, that's pretty useful. Rook e5, it said here. King a2 is the move. I feel like I'm cheating on a test or something by doing this. King to a2 is the only winning move. Everything else is a draw. I mean, how does that work? Rook to h5. Oh, rook to... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So here's the question I have. When I get this, now you get a queen, and okay, this is a winning endgame, fine. Why does it have to be king a2? What's wrong with king a1? Rook here, and you can't do the same thing? No, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. So hold on. Just to be clear, this position is a draw, but this position is a win for white. I mean, that's incredible. That's incredible. What else we got? And did it say? Yeah, it said king a2 is winning. Now it says knight to d2 is a draw. Okay, knight to d2 check is a draw. Wait a minute. So white has this pawn and this pawn. Black has this pawn. It's a draw? How do you figure? So what if the king moves here? What are you going to do? I'm sorry. The move is knight to f3. Oh, the board is backwards. The board is flipped. How did that happen? Is it because I pasted the fen in? It flipped the board? So white's pawns are going this way. Okay. All right. That's useful to know. I was like, you're gonna get a queen. Okay. Now that that's all right. So black's pawn is going that way. Well, yes. Now I would say it does sort of look like a draw. The knight just has to catch this pawn somehow. Okay, let me actually just restart the whole thing. So this is the threat that black has to deal with. So you go check, you go over here, right? Because if the pawn pushes, you're gonna go check and stop it. Yes, of course. Check, and the king moves, whatever, you stop it. All right, draw. Okay. Stockfish is confusing me. 7-man position. Let's see this one. This is too much fun. This is too much fun. So I need to reorient myself. Yeah, the board now is white is going forward. So that was confusing. But it's a draw with a bunch of moves. The one that stock... Oh, it doesn't say a move. It doesn't say a move. It just says draw. Wow. Interesting. So 2 rooks that are split up like this, but with the random pawns, so you can't fork them, is a draw. Queen c1, king a2. Blah, blah. You move here. b3. What? b3 is a draw. You give him the rook. How does that work? How does that work? This is a drawn position? No wonder I'm so bad at chess. I don't know anything. I mean, is it like a fortress? I mean, how is this a fortress? All right, like, let's just say, of course, you can't just check. That doesn't do anything. But what if you bring the king over? What is happening? Now you stop the king? Oh, because the king can never get in. Oh, okay. Right, of course. The king can never get in to help the queen, and all you do is just kind of like run around with your king, just like wherever you want, that's defending the pawn, which is defending the rook, and black can't do anything. It makes sense. Stockfish just tricked me by putting the rook over here. I'm like, oh, I'm coming in, but you just actually have to go to c4, and then... Okay. Wow. So that was the 7-man position. Draw. All right. I believe you now, Stockfish. Mate and stalemate positions. Chess 960 positions. Let's actually see one of these. That'll be interesting to see. So it stores some chess 960 positions. Haha, there you go. Bishops, knights, the rooks over here. Interesting. And mate and stalemate positions. Let's check another one, see what this is all about. Oh. Mate and 5. Mate and 5 for black. Queen takes f3, and if the queen takes, you have that. Okay, nice. So white has to just delay, but ultimately it leads to mate anyway. He delays, take it, he plays here, and then you have the checkmate. Okay, nice. All right, let's see if we can solve this one. I'm going to actually turn off the engine for a second. We'll see if we can solve this one together. And we'll turn it on. All right, so we know it's a mate. What is the mate for white? Well, we have our queen. The question is, what do we do with it? I'd like to go here, but I can't. The knight's there. If I go here, the king is escaping, or at least it seems like it's escaping. If I go here, same thing. So is there like another move? Check. Again, the king's going back there every single time. I could play knight g5 to like bait this, but even that, it's probably not good enough. What's the mate? See, this is why Stockfish is so good. It already has this in its code. It has this checkmate right here. It's probably like a mate in 12 or something. Maybe I'm just tired and can't think straight. I don't see a mate. I don't see it. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I just saw it. That's nice. It's 1, 2, 3. It's 4. It's mate in 4. It's mate in 4. That's very nice. All right. If you had a chance to look at that, here we go. I'll turn it on, but it's queen g7. Sacrifice the queen. Rook down. Knight f6. Beautiful. Beautiful. There you go. Queen g7. Queen takes e7. Rook g7 because the knight is controlling here. Forces the king back and then boom. It's also a fork, but doesn't matter. Oh, that's good. That's very good. So that was pretty cool. And well, why not? We'll look at another one here. Let me turn off the engine again and then paste it in. Oh, well, that's okay. Okay, Stockfish. I was expecting more. But that's what a stalemate is if you didn't know. And this is checkmate. So there's that. Okay, game's over. Stockfish, you're funny. Okay, wow. So I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So we've got all these random positions, which are known as defaults. And I don't even know if these are, you know what we can do? Let's actually do a search. And let me zoom. I'm too zoomed in. Let me go back here. Okay. I'm going to do a search for defaults in this repository. And I'm going to see what we find. Okay, this is what we were looking at, where it had all those. If fen file is equal to default, so if that's what it is, then fens is defaults. So it's basically taking all of those fen positions that we just looked at, and it's putting it in here, FENS. And yeah, this is something else, and that's something else. So let's see if we can find fens. See how it uses this. Fens, that's what we just saw. That's it. That's it. If, else if. So what that tells me is it's not really used. It has all those positions, but it's not really using them. Unless I'm missing something. But from what I'm seeing, it's not using them. I mean, all it does is just put them in here, but then that's never really used. Unless this does something that I'm not following. Fens.pushback. Maybe something is happening there. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like... I was expecting to see like more of that. So maybe something happens when it pushes back, because there's a lot happening here. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they used. But nevertheless, that was really interesting. Like all those positions, the checkmates, those crazy endgames positions, right? Stockfish has that stored in there. That's just nuts. That's ridiculous. Let me go back. Somehow I got off of where I wanted to be. So just to recap, all I did so far, guys, was look at this file right here, benchmark.cpp. That's all I've looked at. And we've got a lot more to look at. And I have a suspicion that this was probably one of the shorter files, right? Like some of these other ones, I imagine there's going to be a lot in there. So this video is going to be part 1. There's no way in the world I'm going through all of this in one sitting. And so if this is interesting to you, make sure you subscribe. We're going to come back. We're going to dive into all of this and see if we can see what else Stockfish has hidden within its code. I'll see you guys back again next time. As always, stay sharp play smart, and take care.